everyone! So today we're going to be looking at some idioms involving animals in English, French, Hungarian and Malay. So the first one is ants in your pants. I think this is like a really nice visualization of it because it's someone who's can't sit still, is always like moving, and it's like they've got ants in their pants, which would be a reason why they're always like moving and jumping around.
Yeah. I really like this one in English, and the equivalent in French to say that you're sort of really excited and you can't sit still is être excité comme une puce. So you'd ask someone if this, if they're wriggling around, you just say t'es excité comme une puce. It means you're like as excited as a flea. So like the idea is like you just flying up and down, like you're just moving all around. But what I really think is interesting is in French also we use ants in an expression, but it's to say when your legs have gone numb.
Oh,
so you say avoir des fourmis dans les jambes because you get really this feeling like you've got ants going up your leg. But I really like how in English it's literally in your pants.
Yes, because we have pins and needles and not.
Yes, exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the flea one is interesting because we say something like that as well, but it's specific to like jumping, so it's not this expression, it's a different one. But so the closest I could think of for ant in your pants is tukenul, which means you're sitting on needles.
Oh.
So it's like you're so excited that you just cannot sit down. So
it's funny how needles
it doesn't have animals in it. It's just
ants are being compared here.
Yeah. Yeah, very unpleasant things. That's the main idea, I guess.
So ants in your pants itself, to describe someone who can't sit still, doesn't really exist, but it describes usually the situation when someone is like really worried or really troubled, that they are like just fidgeting and everything. So we have two. We either say seperti kena belacan, which means like the ape get hit by shrimp paste.
Okay.
That's very specific.
But you can imagine, like, not just apes, but if someone just throws a bunch of paste at you, you're gonna be like so that's the idea.
Okay.
The other one is bagai ayam dimakan tunggal, like the chicken that is being eaten by, eaten is a bad word, but that's what it means, by mites.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can imagine like if the chicken is like filled with mites,
Yes.
then it gives you that ants in your pants kind of feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I prefer ants in my pants than mites eating me, but
Clearly.
Next one is as strong as an ox. So this just means someone's really strong.
So in French it's similar, you would say aussi fort qu'un bœuf. Yeah, so it's also an ox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just as strong, but you say it as strong to be as strong as an ox. Yeah.
We have the exact same thing. Erős, mint a bivaj, or bivaj erős, which is like ox strong, like all in one word.
Oh, interesting. So I couldn't find one that's exactly the same, but we do have a saying that kind of says like, what I can say is we call it kerbau bertanduk, rotan berona, which means the buffaloes, for some reason it's the same family. The buffalo has their horns, and the rotan, I don't know what to call it in English. It's a cane, kind of like, when you use the cane people, is made from this rotan, has, what you call that, thorns. So basically it kind of means that the strong people are strong because of the power, and the citizens are strong because they are
A lot of them.
together, correct?
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
We have a different saying that has the same meaning, which means "Soklu disnótyős" means that a lot of geese can fight a pig.
Oh. Yeah.
Next is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So this basically means anyone who disguises a ruthless nature through an outward show of innocence.
Cool.
So the French equivalent would be comme un loup dans la bergerie, which means a wolf, like a wolf who's hiding amongst the sheep.
And Hungarian is the same. Báránybőrbe bújt farkas, which means like the wolf in the sheep's skin, we say.
Okay, I guess we're the most different. But it is kind of, we say musang berbulu ayam. Musang is fox.
Ayam is chicken.
Ayam is chicken. Berbulu means having the feathers off. So it's the fox with the feathers of the chicken.
Wow,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
I like that.
Next one, a leopard can't change its spots, which basically means that people don't change.
And in French, I quite like this one. It's les chiens ne font pas des chats, which means dogs do not make cats. So you can't have basically dogs. You know, dogs are born from dogs who will be dogs who will carry on being dogs. So you can't change.
You can't,
Okay.
you can't create a cat from a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Les chiens ne font pas des chats.
I like that one.
Okay, so we're taking the same thing.
Yeah.
So it starts with the dog, but we don't say dogs don't make cats. We say kutyából nem lesz szalonna, which means you cannot make bacon out of a dog.
What? That is darker.
Yeah,
Much darker.
This is literally getting
Well,
darker.
this is-
Because the Malay one is horrible.
Oh, what?
Oh my god.
Crescendo.
The funny thing is, it has a negative notion, meaning it usually used to describe people with who are bad.
Yeah.
And it starts with a dog. That's interesting. We say we say anjing biasa makan tahi. Jika tidak dimakan, mencium ada juga, which means it's really long. Which means the dog is used to eating poop. If they don't eat it, they will also still kiss it.
Okay.
Still what?
Kiss it.
They will still kiss it.
Yeah, like sniff at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
it's just saying dogs always have to do with poo, basically.
kind of. So they were like, this is
That's
your
their
nature.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think that's like remotely true, but this is their nature, and even if they don't do it once in a while, they will come back and do it
Yeah, okay.
or some form of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I still found Petra's one worse.
Yeah, I think
Me too. Yeah, me too. Definitely.
darker than a human level, that's just a bit gross.
Yeah.
So the next one is like a fish out of water, which basically means that someone feels out of place, they're not in their normal environment.
And it's pretty much the same in French. It's comme un poisson hors de l'eau, so like a fish out of water.
Same in Hungarian. Mint a partra vetett hal, which means like a fish, like sort of washed out onto the coast.
Okay.
A bit more poetic.
Yes, very poetic.
I do like it better. We have nothing to do with fish. We say bagai rusa masuk kampung, which means like the deer going into a village.
Oh.
Yeah. So you are, like the odd one out
That's
there.
also very visual.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's very good.
Next one is as happy as a clam, which means you're just very happy. But are clams happy? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, clearly. I mean,
It must be. That's why they're cooking that. If you know, let us know below in the comments.
So I find this one in French also equally interesting, as in very strange. It's heureux comme un coq en pâte, which means as happy as a chicken, but en pâte means you're basically feeding it loads, or a rooster rather than a chicken. Rooster, you're feeding it loads because you're then eventually planning on cooking it, so you're sort of stuffing it.
So it's
oh
like
god,
So it's like one of these massive.
oblivious.
yeah, it's like
Innocence
is
It's very happy because it's being taken care of loads, but then at the end it's because of the purpose of eating it. So I think it's a bit. To me, it sounds very
Dark.
ironic. Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
But the origin comes from the medieval ages where roosters and chickens would be very, sort of more respected and seen as, okay, we're taking care of them loads, and of course there was still the element of you eat them, but the idea is, okay, in the time that they're living, they've got to have a really good life.
Well, we go back to the water with the Hungarian version. We say mint hal a vízben, so like fish in the sea or like fish in water.
Oh, I guess we're having 4 different animals. So in Malay we say seperti kuda lepas dari pingitan, which means like a horse being released from the fence, out of the fence. So basically, but usually this is a very specific type of happiness. You're so happy because you're finally out of the control.
Free.
Yes, exactly, from people or things. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, next is Scaredy cat. It's just a person who is scared easily.
And in French, it's une poule mouillée, which means a wet chicken. And I guess the idea is they don't really like to be in water, or they not, they can't swim. So it's you're in a risky and scary situation.
Okay.
We also have chicken as like someone who is scared of
it's
things.
the same thing.
We don't have or at least I couldn't think of an animal version of this, so let me know if you can find one that's close enough. But we say for someone who gets scared easily that they get scared of their own shadow. A saját árnyékától is megijed.
Yeah, we see that in French.
We have that
Like
too.
ponce.
Yeah, but I couldn't find an animal one that was sort of in the scaredy cat
Realm.
direction. Yeah.
Cool. In Malay, we say hati tikus, which means to kind of like, it itself is a description of a person, but literally it means the heart of a mouse. So like you're
Interesting.
small and like a little thing just kind of makes you jump. So yeah. Okay, and then for the last one is a little bit interesting because in Malay we have it. I'm not sure whether there's any equivalents in the other languages. We say Gajah sama Gajah berjuang, pelanduk mati di tengah-tengah, which means when elephants fight with elephants, then oh gosh, what's a pelanduk? It's like this small kind of deer.
We found mouse deer.
Mouse deer, that's the word, yes. Thank you. Mouse deer, it's a type of deer, so it's like this really small one. The mouse deer dies in between. So like it kind of means when 2 powerful party or people or nations fight, then the ones who die or suffer are the citizens and the innocents. Yeah.
Like caught in the crossfire.
Correct. I really like this saying.
We were trying to think of if there is an equivalent in English, and we couldn't really, like, in English I guess something that's quite similar or close is like get the short end of the stick or draw the short straw, but it's not really the same.
No, because there it's not about power.
No.
It's about so whoever got the short end of the stick, it's the party who suffers.
Yeah.
It's like that part of the sentence means
They're the
we
mouse
matched.
deer.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess caught in the crossfire is kind of similar, but not really.
Not
the
animal
same.
based.
And definitely no animals.
Yeah.
I think it's a very specific Malay.
Yeah.
That's true, but if any other languages have this, you really should comment down below because I'm really interested to know
Yes.
who else has like this kind of specific animal.
Let us know.
Yeah.
What do we want?
More subscribers!
When do we want it?
Now!
How are we going to get it?
Click the subscribe button! And don't forget the bell!
That's right. And remember to share.